Hey folks, want to jump on here and shoot a quick solo podcast. This one's going to be about the business of Jimmy Choo, and for those of you who don't know, I'm based in Sydney, Australia at the moment. Feel free to reach out if you're up for a sea swim. Contact me via email or over on social media. That said, let's get into the show. This is over on ChatGPT. Jimmy Choo refers to both a person and a luxury fashion brand renowned worldwide, especially for its high-end shoes and accessories. Jimmy Choo, the designer, Jimmy Choo Yang Keat is a Malaysian-born fashion designer born 15 November 1948 in Penang, Malaysia. He learned shoemaking from his father and made his first pair of shoes when he was 11. After studying at Cordwainers Technological College, now part of the the London College of Fashion, he established himself in London making bespoke handmade shoes, women's shoes. Choo co-founded the eponymous company in 1996 with British Vogue's accessories editor Tamara Mellon. He sold his share in the business in 2001 and now focuses on couture shoe design and teaching new designers. Choo was honoured as an Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, for his services to fashion. Jimmy Choo, the fashion brand. Jimmy Choo is a British luxury fashion house founded in 1996 and headquartered in London. It's best known for glamorous women's shoes, handbags, accessories, eyewear, and fragrances. The brand became a global phenomenon, popular with celebrities and often featured in film and television, famously in Sex and the City. Creative direction is led by Sandra Choi, and the company is part of the Capri Holdings luxury group. Today there are 200 plus boutiques worldwide selling Jimmy Choo products, and I saw their retail store or boutique in the QVB, the Queen Victoria building. In popular culture, the name, quote, Jimmy Choo, end quote, has even inspired a song by American rapper Fetty Wap titled, quote, Jimmy Choo, end quote, released in 2016, which references wearing the designer shoes. Fascinating, I didn't know that. It's a good one. Over to Gemini. When you think of high-end luxury footwear, Jimmy Choo is usually one of the first names that comes to mind. It's a brand that perfectly balances gritty East London roots with the high-end octane glamour of of Hollywood red carpets. Here is a breakdown of the man, the brand, and where things stand today in 2026. The man, Datuk Jimmy Choo, born Choo Yang Keat in Penang, Malaysia. We already talked about this briefly. To a family of shoemakers. This is over on Gemini, which is a Google product. I think maybe I've already mentioned that. Choo made his first pair of shoes, slippers for his mother when he was just 11. His surname was actually Chow, but it was misspelled on his birth certification as, quote, Choo, end quote, a typo that unintentionally created one of the world's most famous brand names. The royal connection. After moving to London, he became a favorite of Princess Diana in the early 1990s. He often visited Kensington Palace to design custom pumps for her. The exit, Choo sold his 50% stake in the ready-to-wear brand in 2021 for roughly $30 million. Presuming, is that AUD or USD? 2001 Jimmy Choo exit, $30 million. That's USD, so that's United States dollar. He sold 50% to the Equinox Luxury Holdings for $30 million. I thought it was another company. Let me just double check this. That was on the AI overview on Google. And then it says, yes, Jimmy Choo is owned by the Capri Holdings Limited, a global fashion luxury group acquired by what was then Michael Kors Holdings Limited in November 2017 for approximately $1.35 billion. Jimmy Choo operates as a premier luxury accessories brand under the Capri umbrella alongside Michael Kors. Key details about Jimmy Choo and Capri Holdings ownership structure. Jimmy Choo is a subsidiary of Capri Holdings, which is publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and it is under CPRI. Brand heritage: founded in 1996 in London, Jimmy Choo is renowned for its luxury shoes, handbags, accessories, and fragrances. Leadership: the brand is known for its creative direction under Sandra Choi, maintaining its reputation for high fashion, red carpet glamour. Capri Holdings portfolio: along with Jimmy Choo, Capri Holdings owns Michael Kors. While Capri previously owned Versace, it announced plans to sell that brand to Prada in 2025. Jimmy Choo continues to be a key high-performing brand within the Capri Holdings portfolio. Excuse me if you can hear a bit of nature or birds in the background. And we will continue on back over to Gemini. The brand, I think we talked about the exit already. Choo sold his 50% stake in the ready-to-wear brand in 2001 for roughly $30 million. That was USD, United States dollar, and moved back to his roots. Today he focuses on his highly exclusive Jimmy Choo Couture line and educational initiatives, which we got into. Number 2, the brand from Atelier to Empire. Let me just double check this. The nature here in Sydney is a lot different from Ireland. Some of the different birds, you can hear them in the background. Atelier. From Atelier to, one sec, back to Gemini. From Atelier to Empire. A workshop. Atelier. A workshop or studio, especially one used by an artist or designer. Full meaning of atelier. An atelier is a workshop where an artist creates. An atelier is basically a studio, but it sounds way cooler. It's a French word, so say it with an accent. An atelier is a room where artists make their work. Wow. Very good. When Jimmy Choo provided the Craftsmanship, the brand's global explosion was fueled by Tamara Mellon, a British Vogue accessories editor who saw the potential to turn a bespoke workshop into a global powerhouse. Pop culture status: the brand reached, quote, cult, end quote, status in the late 90s and the early 2000s, famously immortalized by Kerry Bradshaw in Sex and the City. The famous, quote, "I lost my Choo," I think it's exclamation mark, end quote scene. Creative evolution: while Choo left in 2021, or 2001, or 2021, 2001, his niece Sandra Choi, stayed on and has led the creative vision for over 2 decades. She is credited with keeping the brand relevant by blending its heritage with modern, edgy designs. Number 3, Jimmy Choo today, 2026. The brand is no longer an independent boutique. We talked about a key pillar of Capri Holdings luxury group alongside Versace, and we also mentioned that. Previously owned Versace, but it owns Michael Kors. Alongside Jimmy Choo, Capri Holdings owns Michael Kors, while Capri previously owned Versace. It announced plans to sell that brand to Prada in 2025. Did that sale go through? Did Versace sell to Prada in 2025? Yes, Prada Group officially completed the acquisition of Versace from Capri Holdings in December 2025 for approximately 1.25 billion euros. That is 1.38 billion USD to 1.95 billion USD, bringing two major Italian fashion houses under one roof. The deal was announced in April 2025 and finalized after regulatory approvals aiming to strengthen Italian luxury. Key details of the 2025 acquisition: the deal, Prada Group purchased Versace, making a significant one sec. Made a significant repatriation of the brand to Italian ownership. Price and context: the deal was valued at roughly around 1.25 billion. That is 1.38 billion USD, 1.38 billion USD in AUD. That's 1.9 billion Australian dollars. So 1.9. It's actually 1.945. Let's say 1.9 Australian US dollars. Yeah, 1 billion. Yeah, 1.9 US dollars, or 1.9 Australian dollars. Excuse me. Again, I apologize for any of the noise in the background with the nature, the birds. Price and context, we mentioned that already. Reported as a discount for Prada following a period of decline in sales for Capri Holdings. Leadership changes following the sale. Reports indicated a shift in management, with Lorenzo Bertelli set to become executive chairman of Versace. Strategy: the acquisition is designed to boost Prada's portfolio against rivals like LVMH and revitalize the brand's Italian manufacturing origins. The acquisition followed the collapse of a separate deal where Capri Holdings was to be sold to Tapestry Inc. Fascinating stuff. We're nearly 15 minutes in, so just a bit about Jimmy Choo today. Category and highlights. Category: signature styles. Highlights: the Romy Pump, the Bing Mule, and the Bong Bong bag. Expansion now includes menswear, fragrances, eyewear, and even, quote, diamond, end quote, sneakers. Current vibe, quote, future feminine, end quote, focusing on high gloss glamour, often collaborating with icons like Chloe Chivigny. Hopefully got that correct. Or Sydney Sweeney. Ownership: part of the massive 1.2 billion acquisition by Michael Kors, now Capri, in 2017. Fun fact: Jimmy Choo is deeply superstitious. When he opened his first major London boutique, he flew in Feng Shui master from Malaysia, who advised him to face the cash register away from the door so the money wouldn't, quote, walk out, unquote. That's a good one. Over to perplexity: Jimmy Choo is both the person who really got into a lot of this, the designer, we talked about it. In 1996, he co-founded Jimmy Choo Limited, later sold a stake in 2001 and went to focus on couture footwear and education in shoemaking and fashion. We talked about his work with Princess Diana. Bespoke work attracted high-profile clients. Opened his first shop in 1980s. He trained in London, opened his first shop in 1980s. We have a minute left. Born in Malaysia, fashion designer and shoemaker who built his reputation on handmade women's shoes and is based in the United Kingdom. Jimmy Choo, the brand, we went into this. The fashion house is a British luxury brand specializing in designer shoes, handbags, small leather goods, and fragrances. The company's founded, we talked about this, 1996. Jimmy Choo and Tamara Mellon, and became widely known in pop culture, helped by mentions in TV shows such as Sex and the City and The Third Time. The brand expanded globally with more than 200 boutiques, which you mentioned, seeing one in the CBD, or I don't think in the city, in the Queen Victoria building, and significant department store presence. And in 2017, it was acquired by Michael Kors Holdings, now Capri Holdings. Yeah, let's go to the one thing. I'm not sure if you mentioned that it's based in the CBD, the Central Business District in Sydney, but just it there. The one thing to know about Jimmy Choo. One thing to know about Jimmy Choo is that he is a fashion designer who turned handmade luxury shoes into a global fashion brand. His eponymous brand, co-founded in 1996, made glamorous high-end women's shoes iconic worldwide, and they became a symbol of celebrity style and red carpet glamour. If you want a quick fun fact of his shoes were made famously popularized in Sex and the City, cemented the brand. Yes. By the way, eponymous means eponymous of a person giving their name to something. The eponymous hero of the novel of a thing named after a particular person or group. There you go, it's the first time hearing that. Just over 15 minutes. But we'll finish up here. I think that's it. The most known fact about Jimmy Choo brand is that it turned luxury women's shoes into a global status symbol, from red carpets to Hollywood movies. Owning a pair of Jimmy Choo shoes became synonymous with glamour, prestige, and high fashion, making it one of the world's most recognized luxury footwear brands. Perfect. I think that's it. Thanks for listening, folks. Let's repeat the one thing. I like the fun fact, but the one key thing to know about Jimmy Choo is that he is a designer who turned handmade luxury shoes into a global fashion brand. His eponymous brand, co-founded in 1996, made glamorous high-end women's luxury iconic women's shoes. Made glamorous high-end women's shoes iconic worldwide, and they became a symbol of celebrity style and red carpet glamour. If you want a quick fun fact, his shoes were famously popularized in Sex and the City, cementing brand in pop culture. Thanks for listening, folks, and have a wonderful rest of your day.